Greetings, fellow traders. We are live. I hope everybody's doing great here. Let me get this tweeted out here so everybody can join in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope everybody's doing great and had a great trading day today. So good. So today we're going to continue our discussion on patterns to profit. These are Larry Williams' ideas, right, from his book that we talked about yesterday, right? So really excited about talking to this today. So again, his book was Long-Term Secrets of Short-Term Trading. So be sure to check that out on Amazon. Before we get started, remember everything we're going to talk about, of course, is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. All right, so let's do a quick update on the market here. 1 second, let me get this pulled up. Yep, got this here. Okay, so let's check this out. So last month, right, we had a bullish hammer, right, off of still holding like the Bollinger Band, right, the mid Bollinger Band right there. So it came up. Now the month is pushing up to all-time highs, right? So, and only a few more days left in the month, if you can believe it. Thanksgiving this week, right? Short week this week, and it really felt like it today, but there were still some good moves, right? Weekly chart came off of that red ominous spinning top right here and then pushed to all-time high. And what that did on the daily is give you a fresh high, fresh trend line. Right, so now we're holding, as we talked about last night, right? We had that little square around this, where like if it breaks down below the square, we could be working our way back down the cloud. If it breaks up above the square, then that gives us a new high, fresh trend line. And so that's what we have right here. So the trend now is back up until proven otherwise. Right? Good. And so let's take a look and see. Right. So right now, the geometric chart, right? This is where we're at. Okay, so we've been traveling up and down this channel all through 2018 and basically into the end of 2019 here until we broke out here. And we're holding that support, right? Very bullish, right? Just like breaking out of the channel below was very bearish, right? So we'll see. It's not obviously moving as fast as it did down, right? Because usually it's elevator, right? Stairs up, elevator down, right? So, but right now we're climbing the stairs up. So we'll see how it gets to when we get to this reaction line kind of coming ahead here. So this is today's price action, right? From November 25th. These are the levels that we give to our subscribers, right? Now today was very challenging. Right, just in terms of just after we had this initial move, right, this 15 orb up this morning, right, it's crazy candles here, bullish candle right here, upper shadow, right, and then just continue upper shadow, bullish bar right here, but into all this resistance, right, it could barely get out of this, and then look what it did, just kind of chopped around. The levels were very tight today. Okay, so we could see that, we could feel that, right, in the market today. Very, very choppy. But there were some stocks that had some pretty good moves today, right? Like, Netflix and things like that. But we'll take a look at that, on chart requests later. So that's kind of what we're looking at here today. So again, let's take a look here. So today I want to talk about, patterns to profit, the smash day sell pattern. So yesterday we talked about the smash day buy pattern. So this is actually just the opposite, right? So the idea is basically just like this, right? So you would look to see, all right, bullish, 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 bullish. So any one of these bullish candles, if it breaks down below it, right, then we would expect a move, right? But it's on the next candle, right? So here you have a bullish, I wouldn't really call it super bullish, right? Upper shadow right here, but once it broke down below that low of that bar, boom, you got a nice move right here, right? So you had, 31.29, down to 31.27, so a nice 2-point move down. That's an intraday move. But let's take a look at the daily and look at some examples on the daily, right? So, not as common, of course, on the SP. Sometimes, what we see on the daily is like, okay, well, does it count when it breaks down? Well, not necessarily. Right? The idea is that when it breaks down that candle. And so here you can get these red days, right? But it takes a couple days to actually break down on those levels. Now, there's still significant levels, but it's a different setup altogether usually. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples on the happen. It doesn't happen very much on the SPX, but let's take a look at ones that just kept on running and then when they actually stopped. Okay, so let's take a look at Roku. Okay, so Roku. So Roku had a pretty epic run up, didn't it? Remember this back in August, September timeframe? It was epic. It's like upgrade after upgrade, right? And so here, right, had this big move up, right? This big move up here, and then it gave you a topping tail and gave a little bit of a pullback, right? But no big deal. Okay, still held those levels. Okay, nothing to be worried about right there. So and then bullish. Look at this. Every day was a higher low. So one of these days when it gets like really green right here, if it crosses below those levels, we're going to start to see a down move, right? And so that's what happened here, right? Bullish day right here, inside day, bullish day, right? Gap up, and then boom. The first day after, I don't know how many days this was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days. first day in like over 2 weeks that it pushed below the low. Do you think it got some momentum to the downside off of that? Yeah. So that, my friends, is exactly what the smash day sell pattern looks like. Okay. So when everybody's just all bullish and everybody wants to keep pushing the highs, oh, and then it gaps up even more, and then just flushes right through it, and then the next day follow through is even more incredible, right? And then after you have a big move, you get some consolidation, and then that's your measured move down right there, a little bit of a bear flag, which we called out on Twitter, and that worked its way down that way, right? So pretty impressive stuff, right? I mean, even here, right, it's bullish into the cloud, real bullish in the cloud until it breaks down below it, right, and gives that push down. Right, so it's a really, really cool setup, and you'll start to see this a lot now, right? So when things are really running, it's like, okay, well, do I go long, or do I look to make a little money to go short, or do I do both, right? And so that's kind of the idea when we look at it. So we take a real quick look here. I think Shop probably did this too on the way up. It has not quite as good. Netflix at one point I'm sure did it. In its epic move up. But anytime you see these big runs up, and then it finally breaks down the low of that bar, right, of the big run up, right, then you can expect to see a move down, and that is your smash day sell pattern. So something to look for not only in the daily pattern but also on the intraday patterns too. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those into the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can. We'll try to wrap up by 10:30, maybe even a little earlier today. It is a kind of a vacation week, but we'll get through as many as we can, and but we'll also try to get a good night's sleep and try to focus on it, because in these choppy days, right, there's still moves that are out there, but it's tough, like when your eyes are glazing over and the market is just chopping, to actually see and believe a move is actually going to happen. I mean, just like real quick, like example today, like Apple, right? Apple had a brilliant move up this morning, right? And then it was just chopping like all day, and then it gave us like a nice setup at the end of the day, right here, basically a move out of the cloud, and then that nice move up right there. So it came up, 15-orb break, slowly drifted its way back to the 15-orb, and it's like by then, like everybody's sleeping, right? And it's like, oh no, see, there's actually some money to be made there. So definitely something to keep an eye on, over the next couple days. Okay, so good. So Suresh, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at a couple of charts here. Let's pull up our dailies. Okay, so let's take a look at Clack. Okay, Clack held the cloud nicely, and it actually did like one of those smash day kind of buy patterns right here at the end, right? So bearish, 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 and then boom, right there, 162 all the way up to 164. So almost a 2-point move off of that smash day buy pattern. So let's see if that gets any follow through to the upside, right? I like how it's holding the cloud here. TGT, a little target. Yep, a little bit of a pullback today, but it's just, like we said yesterday, it's probably going to like just kind of chop its way down and then work its way back up again. So it's usually likes to hold its gaps pretty well. Okay, S-Bucks. Little Starbucks action. Yeah, I like today's price action a lot. Like I really was looking for a long entry today. It was a little bit tricky, right, because Starbucks moves a little bit slowly, but it looks like it's taking the inside day up and starting to break its way out of this macro downward trend line right here. So that's starting to get bullish too. And thank you for bringing up Home Depot. This is another good one. We talked about this last night, of course. I really wanted to do the smash buy pattern on this one. It couldn't get over yesterday's highs, but we were stocking it all day today. And it just couldn't do it, right? It was really bullish into the close. I like how it closed with a hammer with increasing volume, so it may start to work its way up if it gets back into the cloud there. But watch the cloud resistance. Matt, what's going on? Matthew, how are you? Hope you're doing great. Harvey, good evening. Sarah, what's going on? Square and AMD. SQ? Yeah, so Square, it looks like the run may have paused out a little bit here, right? Had this epic run up through the cloud. Nice inside hammer, right? A little bit of a pause day and then up. Nice move up here, and then look at that. Upper shadow off of the 200-day moving average, right? So just kind of keep an eye on that. It might consolidate for a little bit, but it needs to break that tail, give a tail fail to the upside. And then AMD. Looking pretty interesting here, right? So we have two lower lows right here, and then a little bit of a gap up, right? But still an upper shadow. So it looks like it's consolidating a little bit, kind of like this pattern right here. It might pull back to that macro trend line, right, all the way from down here, right? So see if it can do that, and then work its way up. And Diz, of course, Diz. So let's see. So Diz, it's kind of doing its thing, right? It's pretty bullish, right? So it's surprising a lot to the upside intraday. It had pretty intense fade back to the 15 orb today. Right, so we noted here, right, a nice 15 orb breakout, right, triple inside 15, right, for the breakout to the upside, and then it kind of gave a little bit of that up again, but it held the 15 order level and then rallied to into the close. So interesting day today, but it's still bullish. Watch this fib fan line up here too at the 151 level. So it could be a possible resistance. Sean, what's going on? Zoom? Oh yeah, and AYX, nice. So AYX is definitely on the bullish radar today, and Zoom is looking pretty good too, swing-wise, right? I like how it's closed over this this ascending triangle. I like how it entered into the cloud. I would like to have seen a little more volume today, but it looks like it's trying to work its way up. It is an interesting one. It seems to like to flush at the open and then work its way back up again. It's such a strange stock. And AYX is similar, right? I like AYX because it is starting to work its way up. I think today was a nice opportunity to get long. I was going to take a position, so I'm definitely going to look at this. I like the increased volume. I like how it broke the inside day up. I like how it's entering into the cloud. So let's see if we can get some follow through on that one. So that's starting to look pretty good too. Alex, what's happening? Beyond? Yeah, so Beyond's getting so super duper close, guys. Look at that macro trend line from the highs, right, all the way down here, right at this macro support level. So let's see how it handles this downward trend line in the next like 2 days. Okay, so it's going to be really, really key. It's totally on the radar. I'm liking it. GDX. A lot of the gold ones, because of today's rally and all that stuff, all-time highs, a lot of them are kind of pulling back. See if they can hold support there. That one at the fib fan line, right? A couple of the other ones were similar. CGC. Again, everybody expects these stocks to break out, and they're just not these, from what I can tell, not these huge breakout stocks, right? I mean, right now, they still have this macro trend line down, right? So inside day, we'll see. We'll see how that holds right there. So these are tricky ones to trade. Sometimes you can get lucky with a gap up, but it's tough. But they had some news today and everything. So here we go, another one, Kirkland Gold. Big gap down right there. Huge volume today, right? Just closed below the 200-day moving average too. That's pretty bearish, right? I'm definitely looking bearish there. We'll keep that on the radar. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. KL Baidu. Where did my chart go? Baidu. Yeah, well, the Chinese name started to perk up a little bit. A little bit of a spinning top right here, so I mean, nothing so compelling about it, but I like the increased volume, and it is, did close green, so that's good too. Apple, Shop, and Twitter. So Apple, again, nice close today. Could work its way back to those all-time highs. Shop is interesting, right? So another inside day. It's really been consolidating. It loves this 23.6% retracement here of this this fib. So it's been just hanging out here for a little bit. It's below the cloud. I'm expecting a move soon. Some big volume came into it at the end of the day today, so that's something to look at as well. And then Twitter. Nice close today on Twitter, actually. Yeah, almost an ideal close. Increased volume would have been great, but it does look like if it breaks above today's high, it could try to start to work its way up to the cloud. So good stuff. Nice ones there. I know, Paul. Yeah, it is nuts. Cool one. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Ramesh, what's going on? Tesla? Yeah, let's take a look. Tesla. Interesting day, right? So, gapped down the other day, gapped up on the truck orders, and then the market just kind of didn't buy it today, right? And kind of flushed down. So today was a bearish day on Tesla. We'll see if it takes out today's lows, right? It might get a little more downside. John, what's going on? CC, please. Okay, yeah, cool. So, so it's looking interesting. Let's get a trend line on this one. I haven't looked at this one. So here's this. So let's get this here. So yeah, so it's starting to break out of this trend line right here. Let's see if we can close bullishly above this with some increasing volume. It doesn't have to be the next day, but one of these days, right? So it might even minor pivot a little bit, and then we'll look for a close above those levels with increased volume, okay? For it to start to break out, and then maybe it'll meet up with the 200-day moving average up there. Okay, good. Are they? What's going on? Pacey? Yeah, my pleasure. Hope you're doing well. Good day. This Pacey has just been so aggressively strong. It's amazing, right? So upper shadow there, 269. I don't know if there's an end in sight, but it's certainly closed above some major resistance right here. I mean, just super strong. I mean, I don't know what to say. So bullish until proved otherwise, right? So we could try to do like a something like this. Maybe it's working on a little bump and run or something like that. But again, it might try to hold these levels here for a while. It could chop around for a bit. Thomas, what's going on? KHC. Nice inside day up to the 200-day moving average. So let's see if it can stay above that. I like the increased volume, and then try to work its way up again. But it's kind of holding a lot of these levels pretty well here. So just something worth keeping an eye on here. There's your trend line. Right, nice bullish close over that guy there. So we'll see. Next level up is here. Okay, good. And let's see, cool one. Yeah, Amazon gap today. Is this bullish? Yeah, I mean, so here's the deal with Amazon, right? So one of the things that we look at, right, in our newsletters, we like to compare what's going on with the NASDAQ, right? And a quick way to do that is just to pull up the NASDAQ futures, right? So compare the NASDAQ with the other NASDAQ stocks, right? So look at the NASDAQ. Look what it's doing. Fresh high today, right? Fresh trend line. Okay, so that's working its way up. So let's look at the other big guys. Apple. Pretty bullish, right? That's working its way up, right? And then we look at the other ones, right? And we can see, the other ones are starting to turn up, right? So a lot of these are turning up. And then you go to Amazon, and what has it been doing? It's been kind of working its way down. So the real question we had over the weekend was, that we kind of addressed in the newsletter, was like, okay, if the entire market, right, the entire tech market, the NASDAQ is working its way up, and Amazon is working its way down, is Amazon going to be a leading indicator, right, to show that, hey, the market's going to go down with Amazon? Or is eventually going to play catch up, and today was catch up day, right? So we had an inside. What I really liked was the inside day on Friday, right? So we had a nice inside day on Friday, right? And then from there, I was hoping to like tag it and then give a move up today, but it just gapped up, gap and go, right? So it was an inside day gap up, right? And then it pushed through the cloud and then pushed through the cloud top, and now it's holding that as support. So yeah, so we could see if it continues to hold up here. If it does, it may begin to just kind of continue to work its way up and follow the rest of the trend of its brethren. Blonde Broker, what's going on? Baba? Boeing, as I like to call it, right? B-A-B-A. So nice gap up today. Closed over these levels. We had some great questions on this one last night. I love how it closed above that pivot right there. So it is starting to get pretty bullish right here, but keep in mind it's BABA, so any negative trade news could affect it, right? So you have a nice gap right up here too, so that's kind of your next target, right? Kind of like that area right there. Okay, so just kind of keep an eye on that. So yeah, bullish to proven others. RH, I mean, no reason not to buy anything that Warren Buffett, gets if he can hold it for the long term, but because he is, right? But anyway, but yeah, so it's working its way up really nicely right here, and kind of next level is the fib fan line up here at like kind of this 209 level. Okay, good stuff. And how's it going, Harvey? LK, Luck and Coffee. I like it. Super strong. I like my coffee super strong. Let's see. So this goes here. Interestingly enough, couldn't close above that major pivot on its gap up day, right? This big move up day, right? And then it pushed above it here, gave an upper shadow. We're going to talk about this a little more this week, a little later this week. Inside bar here, tried to take it to the downside and failed. And after it came back up here, this is kind of like a neat little reversal pattern, right? It's kind of like a morning star, right? And then boom, just kind of the move up after that. So yeah, so looking strong right now. I mean, how much farther it's going to go, who knows? It could pull like a beyond or something like that. It's like the new coffee of the century or something like that. But still, something worth keeping an eye on. Levi, what's going on? Etsy, let's take a look. ETSY. So Etsy, just about ready. Not as good as Twitter, but the Twitter's awesome at closing over those levels today, so it looks really interesting. A little more volume would have been great today, but anyway, here, same thing. I like the volume, but the upper shadow here just not quite over that pivot level, but maybe tomorrow, maybe over the next couple of days. But yeah, it still has some good potential there. MTN, what's going on? FedEx, yeah. So FedEx with a nice break out of the cloud today, nice move out of this downward trend line right here. So again, it's starting to work its way up nicely. Again, nice inside day up initially, right? It was trying to break down out of the cloud, couldn't do it. Inside day up, so it's getting that follow through. So we'll see how much more follow through it can get. And good evening, Neo. Let's take a look. Neo's kind of chopping around here, penny stock is. Let's see if we can get out of the cloud first. That's kind of the big thing right there. J&J. Hopefully it's working its way down. Sorry guys, I just love to short this thing. So we'll see. A little bit of a pause day right here, Harami, so it may kind of work its way that way. Tiva. I'm always going to be biased on Johnson & Johnson. Tiva all the way to the 200-day moving average. Heard some news came out today, so got some volume to come in. It's finally over $10 again, so maybe it's getting there. Maybe it's getting there. It needs some more bullish closes, but some nice moves so far. BA. right off the double inside day and the cloud right here. So let's see if it's deciding to work its way up or work its way down to the cloud. And then AXP. AXP has been a pretty strong day today. I love how it closed over the downward trend line. Keep an eye on it. Some financials were strong today. If it closes again bullishly above that level there with some increased volume, it could get very, very interesting. Good stuff. Seneca, what's going on? Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for your support. Levi, yeah, Shaq. How's old Shake Shack doing? Good. Yeah, actually, nice little trend line right here after it got beat up really bad after earnings. Nice close over this level. Not enough volume on it, but it's got to start from reversals. Got to have to start from somewhere. So let's see if it holds those levels and continues to build. Okay, 200-day moving average, kind of the next stop. Work Prism, what's happening? Paul, what's up? FedEx and Schwab. Yeah, so we just looked at FedEx there, but let's take a look at Schwab. So Schwab with a big outlay of money, $26 billion to buy TD Ameritrade, and it moved up on it, which is kind of interesting. So let's see if that holds or not. Very, very rare to see that. But yeah, good. Maybe because it's old news. Alex, what's going on? Chewy? One of Buddy's favorites here. Some volume came in on this today, which is really, really nice. So we have this here. Right, so here's your minor pivot. It really has to close above basically today's high. Bullishly, again, some good volume would be nice on it too. And then it could possibly work its way up to the cloud for a little bit of an earnings run. Phil, what's going on? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Session, what's going on? Ulta? Oh, and by the way, guys, we do have a special guest lined up in 2 weeks. So after the Thanksgiving holiday, so expect December 8th on Sunday. Expect a special guest. So we'll announce it probably the week before. So pretty excited about it. Anyway, okay, good. So yeah, so Ulta, tell me, is starting to look pretty good. Here's your move right here. Right, it's right at that trend line right there. So let's see if it could kind of get above it and close above it, right, to give us some confidence to at least kind of get a little push up to the cloud there. Okay, and beyond we just looked at a little bit ago, but it was a little while ago, so you may have tuned in after that. But downward trend line right here, consolidation. So we're waiting to see how it handles this trend line that we're approaching. Okay, JP Morgan. Nice all-time high right there, and it's still holding trend. Fresh high, fresh trend line. So we'll see if it continues to hold that. Triple M. Get all the Dows on the list, right? At the end here. So nice. So you got this right here. So Triple M, nice close over that trend line right there. Let's see if we can close above this high too with some increasing volume to give us some confidence to take it long to the fib fan line. Okay, and then Caterpillar. Nice moves here, right? So basically this is a classic little pullback right here, right? Closed above this level right here. Nice increased volume. I would expect Caterpillar to get some strength. Okay. Good. Experience and thoughts. Good evening. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Experience and thoughts. Let's see. We got Netflix. Signaling Netflix. Yeah, I mean, just amazing close today, really. I mean, it was a gap down on a downgrade news, and it just they pushed down a little bit, and they just couldn't keep it down today. So I mean, Netflix is bullish right now. So I don't know why, but just technically it is, right? So they're putting money into it. So good stuff. So let's see if we can get over this next level right here. Big major pivot right here. That could be some big resistance for it. So keep an eye on that as well. Home Depot, again, from the radar from last night, was looking a little bit bearish, gave that push down. Let's see if it's done. Lots of volume coming in on this one. So let's see if it can kind of come up and get above those highs right there. It would have been cool if it could do it today. We were ready for it. It was we were locked and loaded, but it just couldn't do it for our smash day buy pattern, right? Facebook, similar, right? So it tried, but it couldn't close above this level. So that's a little, similar but different, right? So couldn't close above there, but see if it'll work its way back down to the trend line. See if that'll hold. And Levi, yeah, JD and MU. Let's take a look. JD, yeah, pretty decent close today. Little 15 orb style today with its gap, but it's kind of choppy. A little move down and back up. So looking like it's trying. And let's see, MU. Ooh, wow, MU big day today. Real strong. So fresh low, fresh trend line though here. So let's see how that looks. So it's right into resistance right there. So just be careful with that. But big day today on that one. Good. Awesome. I know I kind of went fast today. Got through the topic really quickly, but I just wanted to kind of focus on the going through these charts here tonight. No emails from Shirley tonight, so hopefully she's enjoying a nice Thanksgiving break, and hopefully that too. Yeah, let's take a look at Twilio. So Twilio is pretty good, Harvey. The only thing I didn't notice earlier, and I don't know if it's going to pop up on here. The only thing I didn't notice earlier is that it is. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Did it not show up here on Sorry, JD. I was looking at the other chart right there. So JD. Sorry, guys. Just closing up there. A little bit, a little bit of a red day today, but I like the increased volume on it. And then MU. Sorry, I was using my other chart. And then here, just got this trend line right here. That final little resistance. Yeah. So Twilio, Harvey, is oh, well, I mean, it could be okay. So I thought it was the 50 moving average that found a little resistance at. But really, like I said, it's got to close over these levels right here to really get bullish, right? Honestly, I kind of like the pullback. So let's see if it kind of pulls back and then works its way up, kind of to the cloud. We'll see. It was a good setup, right, from last week, but we'll see, just couldn't get the strength today. Nice gap up though. So good. Blonde Broker, CLVS. Yeah, I mean, strong, right? Certainly. I mean, obviously getting back here would have been great, but I like the increased volume. I like that it closed over a lot of key levels here, and it's like it's starting to get some interest. Watch its next resistance level as it's kind of entering the gap right there. Is pretty much like right there. Okay, so that's going to be a key level for it to get above. Okay, Matthew, yeah, CSX and McDonald's. Okay, yeah, bullish day today off of the cloud. Nice increasing volume. Little resistance there, 200-day moving average right at the gap level. And then Mickey D's, the Big Mac. Seems to be just kind of weak, right? I mean, here's your triangle, right? It had an opportunity to go up today. It gapped up today, and it gave it up right away. So, again, it could be holding support here. There's a little bit of support here prior. If not, then, could continue to work its way down, right? Good. Yeah, my pleasure, Harvey. And yeah, my pleasure. Suresh, what's going on? Yeah, NBIX and THC. So NBIX. Upper shadow today off of that kind of major pivot right there. So it's got some work to do if it wants to kind of keep it. So I'm not saying it's a sell or anything like that. It's definitely not bearish, right? So the trend is still up until proven otherwise, but it may kind of consolidate in that ascending triangle type style. And then THC. Nice bullish close. Right, big move up so far, so definitely worth keeping an eye on that. So good. All right, guys. Well, it's 10 o'clock, so I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I love doing the chart requests and going over these concepts. If you're new here, definitely subscribe on YouTube, right? And be sure to check out the links in the description as well. And I appreciate everybody. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. We'll be... Oh, Session, you want to take iRobot real quick? Let's take one more look. iRobot, yeah, still just kind of dealing with, some macro trend line type issues right here, but it's starting to look pretty good. It kind of closed over a couple of these levels here, but just watch, it's got this level right here, and then the cloud as well. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Looking forward. I'll see you guys tomorrow night with a new topic, and I'll see you on Twitter too. So thank you, everybody, for your support, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game, and I'll talk to you soon.